Today I'm doing some sticky toffee pudding. It's my daughter's birthday today, so she's asked me to do a tea for her. This is my eldest. So I'm doing a chicken rogan josh. So I'm preparing that, but the other thing she wanted is a sticky toffee pudding. Not the two I put together personally. However, there are two favourites, so this is what she wants, and so this is what I'm cooking. And as my little niece was asking me about sticky toffee pudding and one or two others, I thought, okay then, let's do it. So first of all, what we've got to make sticky toffee pudding is dates. So I've got 225 grams of dates. This is the stoneless dates, these are whole ones. And I've got that soaking in some boiling water, which is 175 millilitres of boiling water. They've been steeping for about 10 minutes now. And I'm gonna, there's two ways of actually doing this. You can have it coarse and mash them up, or you can blitz them and have it smooth going through. I'm easy with either way, but most of the kind of requests I'm getting is no texture from the dates, can just do them smooth, so we're going to do them smooth today. So I'll just whip quickly through the ingredients that I've got. So I've got 175 grams of self-raising flour, that's measured out there. To that I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of bicarbonate of soda. Yes, bicarb goes in there. One of the things with bicarb, and I always say with things like this where recipes go wrong and you put stuff like this in, just make sure you check the date. If it's old, bin it and get some fresh, because they don't work after a certain period of time. So that's just top tip. And the other thing with bicarb, I mean, I'm just going to give this a quick mix in here. As soon as it hits water, it reacts. So once you actually get it into the mix, you don't mess about, you just get that done. So I've got that, so as my flour, 175 grams, I've got my bicarb. So I'm also going to use 2 eggs, which I'm going to give them a little mix now. I'm using kind of medium large eggs. I'd normally use large, I haven't got large, but I've got a kind of a mixed box. So I'm using the biggest ones out of the mixed box. So there's me 2 eggs. Let's get rid of those. And I'll give them a little whiz up. Well, before we do that, I'll go through the rest of the stuff. So I've got some vanilla paste. I'm going to be putting a teaspoon of that in. I've got some black treacle. There's going to be 2 tablespoons of that going in. Top tip with your black treacle or any golden syrup. Just have a spoon in hot water. So when you go in, you can literally get it off the spoon. You can actually measure it. If you're going in with a cold spoon, it just you can't measure it. It just all sticks to the spoon, so that's a problem. And we've got 140 grams of demerara sugar. So, and the last thing, what we're going to do now is actually get it into the bowl and get mixing up. So into that, I'm going to put 85 grams of butter. This is softened butter. So if I just get my scale on the measure there and get some butter in there. I've just had it out at room temperature. So if I get 85 grams in there, somewhere near 60, let's get somewhere. I should have measured it out first, but hey ho, 81 gram, 84 grams. Oh, get the grams right, yes. Get those right. So first thing we're going to do, we're going to start mixing that up. So while we're doing that, right, get that on. I've just got a K beater on there, just get that going. It's going to coarsely mix it. It's going to be a sandy, grainy finish. It's not going to dissolve the butter. Did I mention the milk? I've got 100 grams of milk there. So I'm going to give it a whiz. With the vanilla paste, I'm actually going to put it in with the dates. You've got to kind of work out where the best place to put things is. So generally when you're baking, you tend to say, keep your wet ingredients together and then add your dry ones. So there's our vanilla going in there, and I'm going to whiz out anytime soon. Right, here we go. See how that goes in there. Brilliant. That's all we can do. That's looking good. While that's doing, I'm going to whisk my eggs up and just start having them in a bit at a time. I'm actually going to have a little look and follow the recipe a bit, because I don't make this for you. And I always take for granted I know what I'm doing. There's a general order in which you do things, and if you're not careful, you get yourself in a bit of a bit of a tea. So let's have a look at that. It's actually not doing anything now. It's kind of against the edges of the bowl. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to scrape those down, and then we'll start adding the eggs. So I'll get a bit in there to go. Let's get some eggs in there to go. And start whizzing it up. There we go. Where are we? Here we are. Which is all good. In the preparation stage, I've got some pudding tins. They're going to be done in small. These are about 200 mils each. So I've got 7 of these, and I've just lightly put some butter in. The reason I say lightly is because you can. All I'm going to do is make sure I scrape down the sides. If you leave like big amounts of butter in when you're doing cakes and stuff like that, you can. And this is a bit of a tip. You can, if you're not careful, start to fry the edges if there's too much butter there, because it's just when the cake starts cooking and it sees too much butter, it just begins to fry and gives you crispy edges, which you don't always want. So there's just a little thing. Let's get that last little bit in there. There we are. In the meantime, while that's mixing, I'm going to just blitz up these dates, because we need a smooth little puree. So I'm just going to use my little blender across here, so give me 2 seconds and I'll start doing this thing. Right, so that's done, that's nicely. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to get some black treacle in there. So they're whizzing up. So I want, I'll keep my little spoon there. So let's get number 1. Top tip with this as well, careful with your black treacle. I've just put the side of the machine there. Careful you don't add too much, because if you add too much, what you tend to find is you end up with a very molassesy sort of taste, which is nice if you like that sort of thing. But what I kind of recommend is just you know, just don't overdo it, because it will be a bit too strong. Like I say, I'm going a bit conservative with it. I'm not putting 2 massive scoops in, but that's it's kind of what I'm looking for. So let's get that mixed in. That'll do us there. Right, let me clean myself now. Let's clean those hands up. I'm just going to check on my date. I tell you what, let's get that mixing up. Might as well be mixing while we're there. That's looking good. Give ourselves a little wipe down. Get the lid on this. And a little wipe down. And then I can see what I'm doing. Put the rest of that there. Get that wiped off there. I don't like this when I'm working. It's not good. That's all good. Right, let me have a look at my little dates, see how they're doing. Like I say, it would have been better if I'd have got them all prepared. But I haven't, so it's fine. It's looking fairly smooth. I'm just going to give it one last little blitz in there. I'll just kind of show you what we've got there. So yeah, it's fairly smooth. I'll just, you know, give it a touch more. Might as well. Seems over here. Right. Just a few seconds there. Right. So I'm just kind of looking at the right. So what we're going to do now, we're going to start adding the flour a little bit at a time. So what we're going to do is we're going to add some of the flour in the bicarb mix, and I'm only going to mix it slow with the K-bit. You can do it by hand, but as I've got the machine here, I'm just going to be careful what I'm doing. I'm just going to allow the machine to do it for me. So put a little bit, half of that in, and just put that on slow. It's not even half, probably a third I've put in there. Let's get that turned down, which is nice. Then we're going to go in with some of our milk. I'm going to turn this off. That's good. Going to actually turn that down. What we don't want to do is we don't want to toughen the flour up. So I'll put a little bit of milk in there. I'll keep it running and pour just a bit more flour in there. I'll even turn it down a bit slower if I can. There we go. just see what that's doing there. That's looking okay. What I might do is lift that up and have a little look myself. Just get in there, just get around the edges, scraping the bits of flour that have gone up the side of the bowl. Like I say, sometimes it's worth doing things by hand. I'm just tipping that over to see so you can see what's going on. Sometimes it's worth doing things by hand so you can actually control it yourself. So I'm just kind of folding that. So like I say, what you find with flour is once you start mixing it in, if you're not careful, you will basically make it tough. Because you're starting to develop the gluten in there, which we don't want. So what we're actually trying to achieve is, it would be better if I didn't look like I was making a right mess. That'd be better. So we're trying to achieve just incorporated without getting it too overworked. Let's go on, get that back in there. There we go. Right, it's going to have to do a touch more. There we go. There we go. That's doing its thing. Last bit of milk. That's about mixed in there. That's going to go in there. And the rest I'm going to kind of, once that's in, I'm going to do by hand so I can see what I'm doing, which I prefer to do. There we go. I'm happy with that. That's a cake batter there. So I'm going to clean this down. Let's see what we've got. And let's see, I don't want to make a tough batter. I just want it to be a light sponge. It's all right. You definitely taste that. Let me just clear up. Let me clear my mess here. 100%. You can definitely taste the black treacle. So I'm quite happy that that's not too much that's gone in there. So let me get this sorted out. Let the dog see the rabbit, see what we're doing. Get rid of that, we don't need that. We need our spatula, so let's get in there. And like I say, what I don't really want to do now is start messing about, because we've got a time constraint now. We've got that bicarb in there, which is going to do its thing. So all I'm going to do here is just scrape down what I've got of the dates, get it in there, get it mixed in, and then into the pudding moulds, into the oven. Bob's your uncle. I've got the oven set at 160 fan, and I'll have to check the times actually, how long they're going for. It's been a while since I've done it. When you make these things once or twice all the time, you get pretty slick at it. But because I do this so infrequently, I always have to keep on checking to make sure I'm doing the right thing, or I haven't over added something, or added something at the wrong point, or had it in the oven for too long, blah blah blah, all the rest of it. So let's just give that a good mixing around with my spoon, which is looking nice. I just want, like I say, all I'm looking for just is a smooth batter, not overworked, just brought together. There we go. There we go. There we are. The right mess, like, but hey ho, as they say. So let's get rid of all of this and get myself a nice spoon. I'll just try that. Very nice indeed. It's actually taken me back eating some of this cake batter after all this time. Is like I say, take me back a little bit to childhood memories, where used to be a treat. Bit of cake batter, honestly. Licking the bowl was definitely a treat. And all we're going to do, we're just going to evenly divide these between the 7. Like I said, they've all been greased, so that's fine. And I'll just try to do it as neat as possible. And sometimes it's a bit difficult doing them by eye. I to be fair, much rather prefer doing things by weight, but needs must. Let's get some more on that one. That was under a little bit. Needs must. Let them in there. And like I say, I've done this before, so I know kind of 7 moulds. 7 of these moulds is exactly what I need. So let's just cut those in. What I'm going to do is, before we go in, I'm just going to run my finger around the tops of the balls a little bit, just to make sure that tops of the molds, just to make sure everything is as it should be, clean, and otherwise you end up with a bit of like things burning on the edges and stuff like that, which it's okay, but let's try to make it as nice as we can. The other thing I've discovered it with this as well, because I'm doing it in this bowl, it's a deep one, so you get your hands in, every time you put your hands in it, you find you're getting covered. Tell you what I'll do, I'll just go get the last little bits out with the spatula, any ones which look a bit short, get them in there, and then I'm going to tidy this mess up because it's beginning to give me cold sweats. So there we go. Wash my hands again. I think that's my little dog trying to come in. So I'm just going to get a little cloth just round the edge of the pudding mould. Hello there, Daisy. Just give them a little wipe round, just to clean them up a touch without making more of a mess if we can. There we go. There's my little dog going out. Daughter number 2 taking the little dog out, I think. There we go. Right. Bit of a pig's ear mess wise, but is what it is. I'm going to clean down now. Right, I'm going to get these on a tray. I might just go do that while we're here and get that tray down again. And then everything's done, and we can work out time-wise what we need to do. So I've got, like I say, I've got the 7 little puddings, so I'm just going to make room for them in there. They will sort of neaten themselves up, level themselves out when they go in the oven, so not a problem there. So they're going to go in. I'm just going to check the time for how long. I think I'm going to give them 20 minutes. And then I'll check again. I'm looking for the skewer to come out, and it's fairly clean. So same with all cake baking, just to make sure the skewer comes out nice and clean. So 20-25 minutes. I'll check it after 20. In the meantime, I'm going to tidy my mess. So sticky toffee puddings mixed in the oven, done. Hopefully that's one job out the way. I have to make some custard and what have you, but and then get on with the curry now. So I'm working back to front, doing the desserts first and then doing the main course. Right, that's it for now. So I'll see you soon. Take care, bye for now. I'll see you when they come out.